Hello everyone! In today's video, I really want to go deep into the things I did wrong in college and the mistakes that I feel that contributed for lower grades, less productivity, and overall a lack of success in my learning process. Besides being a learning commitment, college is also a social experiment. And even if you're an introvert like I am, you'll probably end up feeling like you need to talk to people and it's cool to sit in the back of the classroom. And I did that in my first year of college. And now that I think back, I think it was really stupid to do that because I was really not paying attention in class. I was on my computer scrolling through Instagram or Facebook at a time. And since I have a really low attention span, I always benefit from sitting in the front of the classroom, which is what I do now and I did in my late years of law school. So if I could change one thing, I would probably change that firsthand. The second thing I did wrong was skipping reading materials altogether and only sticking with class notes. I always defend that in case you are cramming for an exam or a test, class notes should be your foundational materials to study, since it's a very condensed and summarized version of everything you need to study for a test. However, if you're trying to achieve a high mark, especially in college, those class notes will probably not be enough for you to get that high mark you are trying to achieve. Every time your professor or teacher sends you reading materials, you are expected to read them and overall include that information in your answers if that topic is approached during the exam. So what I do now is, besides studying my class notes with tons of focus and attention, I always read my study materials, those kind of articles and PDFs our professors sent us, and I read them as I would read a book. And I found out that when I do that and I complement that information, I have a really good overarching experience and I feel like I can get the most out of all of those study materials. And since we are talking about reading materials, I want to quickly give a shout out to HiPDF who sponsored today's episode. So basically, iPDF is an all-in-one PDF solution that allows you to convert, compress, merge, and protect PDFs. So just like I was saying, if you're in college, you probably get most of your study and reading materials emailed to you by your teacher or listed on an e-learning platform in PDF format. And that means that having software that allows you to make those files a little bit easier to access and work with will be tremendously useful during your time in college. For instance, I always use merging and converting programs to create a single file where I can compile all of my reading materials and then reorganize them according to my syllabus, insert my own typed notes in between two sets of reading materials, and so on. Also, you can now use HiPDF for simple PDF editing tasks like editing, rotating, cropping, deleting pages, extracting images from PDF files, rearranging pages, and so on. Most of iPDF tools are actually available for free, although the paid version allows for features like compressing files via email, email support in English, access to OCR, which is a tool that can convert text in image files to editable text, as well as allowing for conversion of bigger files. Whether you pick the free version or the paid version depends on your budget and your needs, but either way, I have both options listed down below in the description box. My third mistake in law school/college was focusing way too much on the aesthetic of my notes. When I started this YouTube channel, I was right in the middle of the time where the planner community gained a lot of relevance on the internet. So most of the videos that were published on YouTube were about how to decorate planners, how to decorate notes, how to use stickers, washi tape, the types of colored pens that were the best and looked nice on your notes, and so on. Since I've always been a stationery lover, I fell in love with the concept and I started spending way too much money on highlighters, colored pens, and all of that kind of stuff, and using it in college. However, I feel like that focus was not well directed because I spent way too much time having fun with the aesthetic part of my notes, and I feel like I forgot that notes are supposed to be efficient, to be simple, and to allow you to memorize and retain information better. That's why I had to oversimplify my note-taking system to the note-taking system it is now, and which I've talked about in a previous video. And I feel that now that I'm taking my second college course in history, I feel like adopting this new simple note-taking system really improved my grades. It improved how I memorize information and how I retain information in class. And if I could go back, I would completely change my note-taking system in law school and refocus my attention on what was essential during class. The fourth mistake I think I made was not taking language lessons for the entirety of college. I started studying German in my third year of college only on the second semester, and I was actually taking classes in the German Institute in Lisbon. I really enjoyed taking those classes. I was really enjoying learning the language, but on my fourth year of college, I couldn't find any compatible schedules with my college schedule, so I had to abandon German classes. And although I started studying German on my own because of that, I think that not having a teacher support, not having classmates, not having that pressure associated with homework, exams, tests, and so on, really made my progress slower. So if I could take that back, I definitely would. I would start taking language lessons as soon as I got into college, because it's much easier to manage the workload if you're taking classes, and 4 years of college is more than enough for you to have at least some comprehension on the language you're trying to learn. And as soon as you go into self-taught mode, at least you already have all of your foundations and you have an easier time learning the language through textbooks, through novels, music, video games, movies, and so on. Finally, mistake number 5 was not approaching professors and teachers when I needed to. As a very shy person, I always felt that I could not approach my teachers and talk to them when I had doubts, I had questions, or I wanted any sort of recommendation. I feel like this mainly started because I'm an introverted person, but I also had a high degree of insecurity about my grades and about my knowledge when I was in law school. And I feel like that prevented me from speaking out loud and talking to my teachers, emailing them, saying I was having trouble with some kind of topics and themes that were being discussed in class, asking for book recommendations, and so on. I feel like currently that's something I can do better. Since I started my history major, I feel like I have no trouble approaching teachers and talk to them and ask them questions and so on. But I also feel like I do that now because I've already finished my first degree. So in a certain way, I feel like I'm not in the same position as a first-time student, and I can now pave my way around how to interact with teachers. If I could change this in law school, I definitely would, and I definitely recommend all of you to try to step out of your comfort zone and approach teachers. So this is all for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the bell button to be notified whenever a new video comes out, and that's really important to make sure you don't lose any track of what's new on the channel. You can also subscribe to the newsletter of our website, and I'll see you next week with more college, university, and organization related videos. Bye!